Hey, I have a story I wanted to tell you. I live on the first floor of a building where all kinds of stuff happens. One day, as I'm sitting on the couch, wondering how my life got so messed up and why all this stuff is happening to me, a light appears in front of me and begins to take the shape of an old woman. She says to me, I am the guide of the building of your mind. Would you like to tour the rest of the building? I say to her, the rest of the building, I didn't know there were other parts of the building. She says, come, we'll take the elevator and I'll show you. Elevator, I said. Where's the elevator? I've been living here. I never saw an elevator. She gently takes me by the arm and shows me the elevator that I never noticed. And we take the elevator to the second floor, and she invites me to step in. The elevator is like prayer, she says. That's why it's called a lift. It lifts you to the next floor of your building, just like prayer lifts you to the next level of your mind. And I get off at the second floor. I explore the second floor and see that it is a warehouse containing all of the ideas behind all of the stuff that is happening on the first floor. All sorts of ideas are stored there. I find out if I focus on an idea on the second floor, that idea is delivered to the first floor in the form of stuff. Oh my God, I say to my guide, all this time I have been accepting all the stuff on the first floor because I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know there was an elevator to the second floor. Now I can take the elevator, pick an idea on the second floor, focus on it, and it will appear as stuff in my life on the first floor. What about the third floor? The guide says. Do you want to see the third floor? Third floor, I say. Ah, I didn't even know there was a second floor. Sure, I want to see the third floor. She says, the elevator will take us there if you really have a deep desire to see it. And so the elevator of prayer lifts us to the third floor. As we walk into a large room, we see it is empty and has no ceiling. Why isn't anything here? I ask her. Because this is the floor of unlimited potential. It is empty because it is unlimited. If it were full, there would be no room for the new. Everything new is created here, she answers. This is where all creation begins. If you become very quiet and listen very intently, you will hear the hum of the universe. When you align with it, you will hear exactly what you need to know. There is one more thing on the third floor, but you can't see it. It is the pattern of perfection contained in everything created here. The wholeness and harmony of the universe is here. All creations from pure spirit have the pattern of innate wholeness within them. Take what you have learned to the second floor, and from the second floor, it will be delivered into your life on the first floor. So, what's the difference between the second floor and the third floor? I asked. The second floor is the warehouse of all the ideas that have already been created. The third floor contains all the ideas that are yet to be created. You see, there are actually three creations of everything. The first creation occurs on the third floor. These are the creations from pure spirit. The second creation occurs on the second floor. These are the ideas that have come from the third floor, as well as ideas you and other people thought up when you were on the first floor. The third creation occurs on the first floor when you see all this stuff. Excuse me, I said. I didn't know I was storing ideas for the second floor while I was living on the first floor. I didn't know other people were living with me. I didn't even know the second floor existed, and I certainly didn't know about the elevator. Ignorance is no excuse, the guide said. The second and third floor and the elevator have always been here. Comes with the building, you know. I can't help it if the real estate person didn't tell you about it when you moved in. I thought you would have seen it from the street. Street? I said. What street? Oh, that's another story, said the guide, as she begins to disappear into light. Wait, don't go yet, I said. I'm confused. Now I don't know which floor to live on. As she vanished from my sight, I heard her say, live on all three. Use the elevator.